Welcome to the autoX Bulletin. We are now in the second week of the coronavirus lockdown, and you know that lockdown has given us certain advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages, well, I can't go to office, I can't drive new cars, there's very little content to be produced that we can produce new. But what I can do is, well, the growing hair, I'm really enjoying that for a change. Plus, where else where you get to sit on the roof of your house, enjoy the blue skies, the birds around, the greenery around, and work in this beautiful setting. So there's that. The world, of course, hasn't stopped. The automotive world hasn't stopped. The pandemic has been a big problem, but the world continues to go on. For instance, yesterday was 1st April, Fool's Day, and we put out a story about the Suzuki Jimny, the Maruti Suzuki Jimny, and we got a lot of response to that. That attracted a lot of attention. We got lots of comments, lots of feedback. People really loved the story, and I think if you were reading it, the actual points of where it was a joke was the fact that it would come with a 3-liter turbo engine. That's not going to happen. It also won't have a float mode that will take you down a river, so no, that's not going to happen. And neither will it have a high jump mode that will allow you to take great pictures. But the good part is what we've learned recently. In 2021, you will see the Maruti Suzuki Jimny on Indian roads. That was the plan, well, until at least the coronavirus pandemic hit. So Maruti is planning to bring that in a 5-door form. So for all you Jimny lovers out there, there's still hope, and I think you shouldn't lose hope. That should be a great product for India. On the other hand, keeping Maruti Suzuki's discussion going on, they have also been doing a lot of work to help the Indian government and the public to deal with the corona pandemic. In fact, they're working with an existing ventilator supplier to help them scale up their production. You see, Maruti Suzuki produces lakhs of cars a year, and they have the expertise to be able to produce so many cars every second, every minute, every hour, every day, and at a very high quality rate. That expertise is what they're using to help the other suppliers scale up the production to about 10,000 units a month. They'll allow them to scale up production, to maintain quality levels, to get them enough credit to make sure that they can scale up. So that is something that will be very useful for the Indian government, for the public, in case the virus really goes into a mass breakout. Additionally, their suppliers have also been working. For instance, their biggest seat supplier is a company called Maruti. They are now producing a huge amount of face masks every day that they'll be distributing. Maruti Suzuki will be helping the central government to distribute all over India. Maruti's MD himself is, in his personal capacity, donating a certain amount of face masks to the Haryana government. Another supplier of Maruti Suzuki is also working on producing protection equipment, personal protective equipment, masks, gloves, overalls. All that stuff is needed by doctors, by hospital staff, by frontline people, by policemen, by patients. So all that is what the company is helping to do to make sure that this crisis can be tided over. Other companies are not far behind. Mahindra & Mahindra has already shown a prototype of the new ventilator they're hoping to produce very soon. Hyundai India, on the other hand, has placed an order for 25,000 advanced COVID-19 test kits. These kits are highly accurate, and once they land here in India from South Korea, Hyundai will be distributing that pan-India in association with the central government. Similarly, Mercedes India is helping the Maharashtra government set up a new hospital to help treat patients. Skoda India is doing their bit, so is Volkswagen India. So I think the industry is really coming around to make sure that we can get over this pandemic and there can be the least amount of inconvenience possible to people all over India. On the other hand, the automotive world hasn't stopped, so we're still seeing some new launches. One of that is Genesis, that's Hyundai's luxury brand worldwide. They've just unveiled their latest top-of-the-line sedan, the G80. And I have to say, what's very interesting about it is that it's got a very aggressive design language. New Hyundais have got a very different and a very aggressive design language in that sense. And Genesis is really taking it a step above. It's got a huge honeycomb mesh-style grille up front, chrome, that really catches the attention. Very aggressive lines, this really aggressive swooping roofline, and a very unique tailgate. So with all that, I was just thinking about it. I'm not a personal fan of this highly aggressive design language. Most automotive critics I know aren't most enthusiasts. But when you talk to a general customer, when you talk to a prospective customer, when you talk to people who are actually buying these things, they love it. I mean, for instance, the huge BMW grills, I don't like them. But most of my friends who are actually customers of BMW, they love them because it gives the car a very unique identity. It catches attention, and people really like making that statement that they've bought a big luxury car and they want to be seen in it. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that styling exercise plays out over the next few years. On the other hand, in not so good news, as you well know, most motor shows have either been cancelled or postponed. Most races, whether it's Formula 1, Formula E, MotoGP, everything is either cancelled or postponed. So that's not so good news. And from that same prospect, one of my favorite events all over the year is the Goodwood series of the festival speed, the revival, the members meeting. All that is a fantastic look back into history of motorsport. Some of the best racing and road cars make it to these events. You get to see cars you probably dreamt about, you've only seen on magazine or in pictures, and you'll never actually see in real life. You can see them at Goodwood, and unfortunately the Goodwood Festival Speed has also been postponed. Thankfully, it's not been cancelled yet, so there's that glimmer of hope right there. So for more news about the automotive world, both in India and abroad, stay tuned to the autoX Bulletin. We'll try and get you one bulletin every day so you're completely updated on what's happening. In the meanwhile, as you know, the coronavirus is a very serious pandemic, so be careful, stay inside, take all the precautions you can, follow all the authorities are telling you, and hopefully we'll be over with this as soon as possible. Take care.